Yo, 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 yo. What it do? It's RB22.
What's up, guys? This is Sunshine out of Dallas. Thanks for tuning in.
And this is Harry out of San Antonio, the USL Champions, the only one that got a star this year. What up?
Chill. That's your
Only-
first star, dude.
Only Texas team with some silverware, huh?
Oh,
Nah,
well, no,
Copa Tejas.
Austin
I mean-
got the MLS JV version of the Copa Tejas that Dallas
Yeah.
had borrowed the year before.
JV version, huh? That's
Hey,
what
the
y'all call it?
original was the USL.
Okay, I got you. That's what y'all call it? I see.
The Copa Tejas, it's good. Like the trophy
You see that? What does that say?
what?
Tejas is verde.
Oh, keep doubting us? Yeah, we.
Tejas is verde, my friend.
Really? Is it? I believe it's
Yeah.
2-1.
Oh, man, it's verde. Come on now. How you boys doing, man? It's December
of soccer.
already. It's been a while.
Lot of soccer,
yeah, we
man.
got a
A
World
lot of
Cup
soccer.
going on. Got World Cup going on, dude. Have y'all been watching it?
Is there anything else to watch?
Oh, really?
My
Sunshine, you been
Broncos
watching
suck,
it, or you
so
been working on the house?
my Broncos suck. So as far as for NFL, so
Yeah,
there goes
y'all are
that.
dealing with that Russell Wilson stuff, right?
Dude, would have been. How crazy is this? We would have been better off keeping Drew Lock, the tight end, in our draft picks than trading for Russell Wilson. If
I
you
have
would
no
have
idea.
said that at the start of the NFL season, you'd have been like, "You're high, dude."
Yeah, I have no idea, bro. But
It's that team chemistry, man. They haven't been able to mesh together yet.
yeah,
Just because
for
you're
sure.
a good player
I mean-
doesn't mean you're always going to come into a system and get it right away.
Yeah. Well,
Would-
they got a
it'd
second
be like
coach
Austin.
as well. So
Yeah.
Like any team, yeah, with no chemistry stuff. But
But-
what's up, man? So we got World Cup going on, and a crazy group stages. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty interesting. Fucking crazy ass results that have been going on. We have Group A, and Group B. Let's see, we got the Netherlands, Senegal, Ecuador, and Qatar. And right off the bat, Qatar, dude, losing. You know, that set the tone that pretty much everyone kind of figured that Qatar wasn't going to be anything special. They're a team that apparently has been playing as a club, playing other teams as clubs and all that. So, I mean,
well, they did okay in the Gold Cup last year. They were respectable, but you won't see them again. Even with the expanded World Cup, what goes to 48, you're probably not going to see them again.
and it's a shame what's the way the World Cup is going on over there, man. I mean, what the rumors are. Apparently, there's alcohol and all that, and it seems like people are having a good time, right? And that's what I see on socials.
Zero beer, right?
Well, apparently not, because I see people inside there with Coronas and Modelo and
They'll find a way to
Budweisers.
sneak them in, huh?
Apparently, bro, all the way in Qatar. So, hey, it is what it is, you know. And Group B,
Hey, but-
man, England.
Well, let me ask you a question here. Was
ahead.
there any surprises out of here?
Hey,
Yeah,
I
there
had
was.
Ecuador getting in instead of Senegal. I know.
yeah,
it was close.
that's what I thought. Ecuador was doing a really good job the first two games, and then they just got beat by Senegal. That was surprising there.
So not so much me. I actually had Netherlands and Senegal going through the same way. Netherlands first place, Senegal second, but Ecuador really did look nice. They had
Mhm.
Valencia, and they look nice to me, bro. They look like they wanted to get it done, which I thought
Well,
they were. I thought they were
number-
going to be a dark horse throughout the tournament.
Number 8 from Holland, Gakpo. He's been
Yeah.
doing he's been scoring goals for them. So number 1 right now.
He's one to watch out for, bro.
Yep.
Especially us. You know, moving on to Group B, England, USA, Iran, Wales, and Wales. You know, didn't look too hot, man. Throughout the whole tournament, Gareth Bale, only point he got was against USA, and we should have beat them. That first game, we had a hell of a first half. Second half, though, we just crumbled, and
Well, I don't think we
didn't-
crumbled.
we did.
We didn't play as well, but if Zimmerman doesn't go in for that poor tackle, I don't think they score.
I agree.
MLS
And
tackle,
It's that,
MLS move.
Zimmerman made a poor decision, and it cost them the 3 points.
They
They didn't play as well as the first half. Nobody, that's not disputable. But Wells wasn't. I didn't have any confidence Wells was getting by us, during play.
I agree. That first game, USA versus Wales, you got to give it to both teams. That first half, they played so hard, and even in the second time, that was just a very physical, high-intensity game. They never really backed down. Were there some technical errors and tactical errors? Yeah. You could kind of start seeing that USA started to get tired after minute 70. So, but high-intensity game. That's what you want to see out of the both teams. And then I think after that, Wells just didn't have it in the tank to go on to the next, 2 games to pull out some points.
Yeah, Iran beating Wales. I did not think that was going to happen at the beginning of the World Cup. I thought Bale was going to turn it on after winning MLS Cup. We're going to be like, hey, let's go do the damn thing over there in Qatar for our country. Heard he's retiring. I mean, we could have seen his last game, but who knows?
It was expected. I mean, from what he's been doing at LAFC, he was going to have that one play every game. And I think versus that USA game, it was that penalty. Because the rest of the game, he didn't do anything. He just had that one play and got a PK. And they tied it up.
What was your expectation of Wales going in? Mine wasn't that high. I thought they were the weakest of the 4 teams. I know a lot of people slighted Iran a little bit, but if you paid attention, Iran was fairly solid. But Wales, it was Gareth Bale and who? And I know they got some quality,
Aaron Ramsey,
but not that. But they don't have the depth though.
Yeah.
That's, and I think that's what you see is, as Sunshine mentioned, the second half. You saw it with Japan, and we'll get to Japan a little bit later. They beat Germany and Spain both in the second half because of their depth and the talent that they had in their form. But you take away that first match for England where they scored 6 goals. The next 2 games, it was 3-2. We scored 2 and 1. Iran outside that first match. It was a good group. For the United States defensively, they still haven't allowed a goal in the run of play. The only goal they allowed was a PK. I think as a U.S. fan, you're happy to get out of the group. I know England fans were upset drawing with us, and I think most would think that USA outplayed England. So
we should have scored. We should have scored and won that game. Tyler Adams is playing a hell of a tournament.
He's making some money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right there. I mean, he's gonna have to get paid too afterward. I mean, Leeds United.
Okay, we can't leave the United States. This group here, Gio.
Man,
what's going on with Gio? And to me, Gray Berhalter, you got to give him credit because he's got us out of the knockout stage. But my opinion, I think he's holding the U.S. back from what their potential could be. I think this team could be more. The example was the last 20 minutes against Iran where he just bunkered in.
Well, where would you put
foot down?
Where would you put Gio Reyna? Because I feel like they got a lot of depth there, and that's why I think he has a lot of players to choose from. If you were to take out a player from the U.S. men's national team on that starting lineup, who would you put?
But in my opinion, Gio is probably the starter. I thought he had the potential to be one of the best players on the United States, especially creativity up front. Prior to the last match, we only had 2 shots on goal in 2 matches. Who you take out?
Yeah, who do you take out?
Because I'm liking the way Tim Weah is playing up there right now with that speed. Musa, same thing, very versatile player. Yeah, you got Musa.
You know who I would take, and I know this is a disrespect. And I think it was Dempsey, Deuce, on the show, slide Weah in the middle and put Reyna out to the side or Pulisic out to the side, so that way you have Pulisic, Reyna, and Weah up here. Because
the only thing I don't like about Reyna is that he doesn't have that pace out there, and I feel like all the left backs right now in the World Cup, even with like Wells, they've been having to go up against very pacey players. Like England, you got Walker, those backs, you got to keep them, defensive mindedly. And if you have somebody like Reyna, I don't know, he's going to give you that speed. But if you want the passes and stuff, for sure.
here's a question for you, Jesus Ferreira. Why hasn't he seen the pitch?
He's still green in my eyes. I think from the starters that
Jordan Morris has seen the pitch. You're telling me that we can't find a couple minutes for Jesus, but we can get minutes for
Haji
Jordan
Wright
Morris?
started the game.
Different positions. He's playing out wide. You can't put Jesus Ferreira out wide. He's up in the striker.
So I've heard that Gio Reyna and Greg Berhalter are having
they're
some
not
kind of
meshing
feud.
well right now.
Yeah. So Berhalter is doing that. Hey, I'm the coach. You're not going to play if you want to be acting like that with me or whatever. So, that's tough, bro. That is tough. But hold on. Before we get into that, they moved on to the next round. So
you want to look at that right now?
Okay. Yeah, we'll look at the Group A versus Group B. First place in Group A versus second place in Group B. Netherlands versus USA. What do you boys think about that matchup right there?
I think USA has the potential to win it. We saw Netherlands with the other first 2 or 3 games. They're vulnerable versus Ecuador. It wasn't until like the last 10 minutes of the game that they were able to score, and same for the other matches. So I think the U.S. has what it takes to beat them. I think it's going to go 1-0 for that game in favor of U.S.
Okay. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Obviously, being a USA homer, I want them to win. Defense has been strong. But Netherlands is strong. Both teams are young. Talent-wise, I think you'd probably lean a little bit more towards, Netherlands. U.S. is an underdog, obviously. But if they could get through.
But Netherlands isn't the team that it used to be either.
Well, they're a younger team, yeah.
They're a younger team.
They're kind of the U.S. They'll be better in 2026
12 years ago. Yeah, they'll be better, just like us. I mean,
yeah.
We'll be super good. I think we'll be one of the best in the world. But
when you look at the groups, Netherlands, who did they play against?
Ecuador,
and
Qatar.
But Ecuador was a good team, bro.
Senegal.
And so was Senegal. Senegal's quick. They had that counter.
But you had to give me with Qatar. So
yeah, and then for the U.S.,
we had to give me with Wales, man. We should have buried that game.
Wales would have took care of
with
Qatar,
England.
though.
England. The problem with us is that we're not scoring goals. You know what I mean? We don't have a 9 right now, a solid 9 that's going to put the goals in for us. So with that being said, it's a very open game, bro. I think we're going to see 60 minutes of a tight game, and then the last 30 minutes, if it's 0-0 or 1-0, it's just going to open up, like it's going to end up ending like 3-2 or something. It's going to be a super – I feel like this World Cup has been an MLS type of World Cup. Just don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I hope we take the dub. I hope we're on the end of it.
Plus, they're playing like an extra 20 minutes a game with the extra time.
Easily 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Easily, bro. That's crazy. That is super crazy. But
let's be honest. Depending on the score, we all bitch about the extra time. If we're winning, by 1, we're like, oh hey, that's way too much.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're losing, hey, we need more time.
10 minutes is
they're over here time wasting. Let's go. Let's ask some more.
For real, bro. No, definitely.
So.
Yeah, to be fair, right? So moving forward, Group C, man. Ooh, Group C. Wow, bro. Wow.
I said
off, man.
Yeah, I said it. Mexico was only going to advance if they beat Poland, and they didn't get the job done. They just made it hard on themselves. That first game, they should have won it, and then that's where they get the momentum going. But
especially where Argentina lost that first match.
Bro,
if
Yeah.
Poland or
Crazy.
Mexico could have got the victory there, it's a different story on how this group goes, in my opinion.
it was very
Definitely.
frustrating to see Mexico play the first game versus Poland. It looked like none of them wanted to win the game. Mexico
the way that they were playing in qualification and all that,
well, it
they
looked
went into the
exactly
World
same.
Cup playing. Yeah, I mean,
It looked
nothing
the same.
changed.
I'm like, all right, let me grab my pillow, a little blanket, and just take a little nap.
Pretty much.
They
Look like what
they
they
just-
did.
They never looked like they were a team that was so aggressive that you're like, oh my gosh, they're gonna attack us from here, attack us. Man, Poland was just sitting back there and just reading them like a book, nothing. You know?
Yeah, bro.
This was a pretty. This was a fun group to watch. Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland, Argentina. All the matches were close. All the matches were fun. Now, was it the best soccer in the world? No, but it was entertaining. Obviously being in Texas here, a lot of fans and family members were hoping for Mexico to get through, and being in CONCACAF, you would have liked to see Mexico get through, sort of.
USA being the only CONCACAF team to go through, by the way.
Yep, that's right. And what is it? 7 straight World Cups that Mexico has advanced to the next round, and this is the first one that they haven't. No more.
Yeah, no more.
Well, Tata, didn't even make it back to Mexican soil before he was let go.
So fast forward through that group, Mexico doesn't get through and Saudi Arabia doesn't get through.
But
literally
this was a tough group for them too, though. To be fair, Poland and Argentina are solid.
Mexico, in my opinion, with the game they had against Saudi Arabia, they should have put 4 or 5 goals in, and they should have went through on goal differential. There's no reason why they should have not. They should have just went through on this, man. And they were not finishing their opportunities,
They're a little bit unlucky,
it's unfortunate.
Though, to be fair.
There was a few that were kind of obvious, clear chances.
I thought Argentina was just going to give it to Poland after what happened with Canelo.
Right.
Online.
Dude, Canelo's tripping, dude.
Didn't he do like a 25 tweet message?
He just went on a big old rant. And I saw the video of Messi supposedly stepping on the jersey. He was taking off his shoes. I'm like,
dude, yeah.
You need to relax.
I've seen our own Real Madrid players, when they go into the locker room,
yeah,
they all take off their shirts and throw it right there on the badge, and so that they can wash them, obviously. But I've never really liked Canelo as a, personally, never liked him. To me, he doesn't fight. Back in the day, boxing was a lot different than what it is today, and his challengers are not real challengers to me. He picks his fights. Anyways, yeah, he was tripping. He was tripping, bro, on going off like that on Messi and all that. And maybe Messi did miss that penalty on purpose. So Canelo apologized, and then he goes on, whenever he sees Messi miss, he goes back on there and he's like, nah, for real. He's like, nah, for real. When I catch him, I'm gonna whip his ass.
Yeah, no, I don't think Messi missed on purpose, because if he would have scored, he'd have been ahead of Ronaldo on goals scored in the World Cup. Plus, at that point, it was still 0-0.
So, I mean, he's going through to the next round, so he may not be worried. But moving on to the next Group D, we got France, Australia, Tunisia, and Denmark. That one too with a few surprises. Tunisia beating France on the last day, which was that today?
Yeah, that was today.
Yes, today 1-0.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no, that was yesterday.
Yesterday.
I was gonna say these games running together the way they have been just
yesterday.
Yeah, so yesterday.
And then Australia got in.
But France was playing an off team. They were not playing their starting,
right,
which is smart.
Yeah,
I could see Brazil doing the same thing, and Portugal tomorrow. Yeah, I could see them doing the same thing. They're through to the next round.
It's a quick tournament. It's a quick tournament for sure.
So Tunisia, I was looking at them. They don't play till next Tuesday now, so they have almost a week to rest. So that's good for them, bro. But France and I thought they. Oh no, it's Morocco. Morocco, my bad.
Morocco's
anyways,
Group F.
Yeah. My bad. I'm moving a little quick, but France and Australia, they move forward. 6 points each.
Australia's the surprise. I had France and Denmark getting out of this group.
I had France and Denmark moving out too. And Tunisia, I mean, Denmark
Was
only
my
getting 1
third
point.
place. I didn't think Australia was going to be as strong
Yeah, I didn't
as
either.
they were.
But, I mean, throughout my World Cup following, I think it was 2010, and then the last World Cup, 2018, they looked good. Like, so they've always, they're a team that has, maybe in the future, maybe they may win it someday, but I feel the same about the U.S. I feel like maybe not this year, but in 4 years, I think it's going to be the U.S.'s turn, possibly.
You ain't getting by Brazil, man.
Man, but I mean, why not? Why not, bro? Every dog has its day.
Brazil's loaded. Well, we'll see. We're getting a lot more talent, for that here.
Yeah, so France and Australia, but staying with the group C and D, real quick, Argentina versus Australia. That's my game that I'm asking y'all about. Who do you think is going to get that one? You're talking about Australia. We're talking about Argentina.
That's straight murder right there. 3-0 Argentina.
But we thought the same about Saudi Arabia. We thought the same thing.
That was the first game. They probably underestimated them, and now they're getting a little bit more momentum, scoring some goals. I think they're going to come in this one a little bit more ready for it. 3-0 is what I'm predicting on this one.
Yeah, so both these games on Saturday, 9 a.m.
As a USA fan, I want Australia to win because I think the United States could win against Australia and get into the quarterfinals.
It's an easier route.
Or the semifinals.
Well,
semifinals, right?
Easier route, right? It should be an easier route, but nothing's easy.
I think USA Netherlands probably a 55-45, split. Or I think Argentina's probably closer 75-25 if you're a betting person.
100%.
And then on the
100%.
other side, you have France and Poland, which will be an entertaining match. Setting up an England versus France, possibly, quarterfinals match on the other side of the bracket, which would be tasty.
I think that Senegal versus England is going to be pretty interesting. That's going to be a high intensity kind of game. And then I think France and Poland, I think that's going to be a boring game. Poland's just going to be sitting back like they did the whole tournament, waiting on that one counterattack, trying to get a PK or just a counter.
It takes one goal to open the game up, though.
Right.
And I'm saying it's going to, they'll do it. It's just going to be a boring game, I think. So I think the fun one is going to be England, Senegal there. But like you said, this whole World Cup.
Do you think the U.S. sits back against Netherlands or no?
No. I think they go out and play all out.
No, bro. No. Yeah, we're going for that.
Yeah,
we're going for that, dude.
If they sit back out, I'd be frustrated. I'd be like, you do all this work just to sit back in the game when the whole tournament you've been pressing and high attack.
Yeah. So
in the crazy group.
Crazy group, man. Group E. Freaking Japan, dude. Who would have thought? I mean, not me. And then they lose to Costa Rica, right? So that's what I'm saying is that these.
Well, there was for a short period, Japan and Costa Rica were in the positions to advance. Spain and Germany at one point were both out. Germany ends up being out
for like 1 minute.
It was a little bit longer than that, but yeah, it was quick. It was short.
We could see. We could check. Let's see. Because it was pretty damn quick. How it's 58.
73.
73.
So 15.
So I guess it wasn't. It felt like a minute. No, no.
Oh no, 70.
Yeah, 70. So 73. So 3 minutes. 3 minutes. But yeah, crazy group, man. Japan, they win the group. They beat Spain. They beat Germany. They lose to Costa Rica. Costa Rica was, about to move.
Controversial goal though by Japan, huh?
Japan on the line, dude. What do you think? Let's talk about it.
I think that was out. I mean, but the majority of the ball was out.
Well, it doesn't have to be the majority.
It has to be all of it.
It has to be all of it. The problem is
I mean, I think most of the ball was out. I think the only thing that
The
saved it
gap
was
for there was at least an inch and a half. I think the ball was out.
yeah. I think the ball was out. Like
I
there
think
was
any other time that ball is rolled out.
yeah.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's
And
out.
the VAR, man, come on! Like, what's the point of that? That if you're not going to get it right, you know.
But there was
It's
an
weird.
offsides call
There's been a few things that have been kind of off.
that I think
They
it was
count
the
him off for his
Croatian
shoulder.
match there
Yeah,
where
they caught
you're
him off
like,
for his shoulder.
what? It was
They counted him off for like this part right here, like
I think
this
that's
part
been a
right
lot
here.
of the goals for
your
this.
bicep
Right.
or like whatever this muscle is, your shoulder. Yeah, your
I think
shoulder.
they've been calling that this whole tournament with the offsides. It's not really where your feet is at. If I
right,
feel
but
like any part of
it's
the
not
body
supposed
is
to be your arms and shoulders though. That's the rules. So I understand your feet. I get that if you're leaning, I can see if it's your head. But on this one here, when you look at the picture, it's
so. How is it any
crazy.
different than the ones that Argentina got called offsides from? Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that one was wrong though. That was the wrong person.
Here you go. This is the one in play.
They marked the
Okay.
wrong person on that one.
Like if you look at the hands, if you're gonna count the shoulder, look at the hands. They're equal. Shoulders here, I just don't see it.
Yeah, there's no real advantage in that.
I don't, dude. Like that's what I'm saying. What is that?
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
like, what are you calling?
What is that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a goal. Like, this is not offsides. Like,
The letter of the attempt wasn't that close. But
yeah, I don't like that. They're taking it too far with that. It's supposed to help on a decision that is really hard to tell. That's not hard to tell.
clear and obvious. Clear and
Yeah.
obvious. That's
Yeah.
not clear and obvious.
Exactly.
The ball being out wasn't clear and obvious. If so, to me, that's if Japan, if the referee allowed it, I think that there's white, there's grass in between where the ball goes out, but the offside one got me where I was like, what are we doing? It's it's almost becoming like the hand because there's different variations. Referees interpret it a little bit different. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, we can't take away what Japan did. Those games, they played with a lot of grit, a lot of effort, never gave up on balls, and man, yeah, Germany and Spain pulling out the victories.
And then Group F, Morocco.
Morocco. Wow.
Morocco and leaving out Belgium.
But Belgium too, man. They're bad in the locker room right now. So it showed on the pitch.
Yeah,
I mean, 100%.
they have a lot of. It's sad to see because they have a lot of talent there. That last World Cup they were able to go.
Talent, they needed to recycle through.
Lukaku, bro, he could have won the game today though. He just was unlucky. That was unlucky
today, right?
Yeah, it was multiple. Just couldn't get it in. And long story short, my last name originated out of Belgium. So I have a soft spot for Belgium, and to see them not go through is like, dang. Like I had Croatia and Belgium going through on this one.
Yeah, I had that. I've had Morocco third.
The one that was disappointed, Canada was
disappointed.
disappointed.
The Canadian goalie, dude.
Wow, yeah, MLS, bro, MLS goalie.
Yeah.
Hey, let me just. I have not knocked MLS on this show yet. RB did.
It's horrible, dude. Like
he plays for Montreal.
I don't know who he plays.
Oh,
for
actually,
exactly.
you know what it is? That's the backup goalkeeper for Canada because LAFC's goalie got hurt in the final.
Oh, that's right.
Who was it? Milan. Who started?
No, you're right though. And then
The goalie for
Yeah.
LAFC,
Bourgeon.
He got
have
hurt.
been-
So he wasn't in MLS. He's FK.
But my
Swan
reference was
Zenden.
to just the MLS. That's an MLS move, like right there, like just to.
yeah.
I don't know
You
what
know
he
who
was
they
trying to
should
do.
have
His touch
started?
was so heavy.
St. Clair is who they should have started. DSC
Oh,
yeah.
here.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
Sunday.
he was like what, second best keeper in MLS last year.
He had 5 matches in San Antonio, so much love to him.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Morocco wins the group, man. Leaves Canada out. Canada was eliminated on the second game.
So you guys remember
0
that?
points.
Whenever remember when U.S. played against Morocco and I think they tied them. Everybody's like, "What the heck's wrong with the U.S.?" Well, there you go. Now Morocco qualified.
Yeah.
Well, the Morocco match, the Japan match, the Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia match, all look a little bit better.
The Saudi Arabia, not so much, but I mean,
They were in,
we can.
they were entertaining.
They
So
beat
I guess.
December
Argentina.
5th,
Hey, they won the World Cup in their eyes. They beat Argentina. So
Yeah. So Japan versus Croatia, man. I say Japan's gonna win it. Luka Modric, Perisic, Kovacic. They're all. I don't think they can get it done. I think Japan is on one right now. I have. Do you remember Alvaro Sunshine from
Yeah.
school?
yeah,
He tweeted some Yu-Gi-Oh cards where you get the five like the arms and then the legs and then the head. You know what I'm talking about? And you put it
Yeah.
together like as one. He put that like for real. That's how Japan is right now. They're like,
yeah.
I can't remember, Exodius or something like that. I can't remember what his damn name was, but
Mhm.
that's how Japan is right now. They're on one, bro.
They're on Super
I think they're
Saiyan
gonna
3
get
mode right now.
yeah that kind of exactly, bro. Like I think they're gonna get it done.
Japan played
It's
the
beautiful to see.
San Antonio FC style where they let Spain have all the possession. And I mean all the possession because Spain completed 1,050 passes or had 1,050 passes,
That's
completed
crazy.
950 plus of them.
Oh, shit.
Where it was insane.
For what? For what? For what?
That's
Why'd
why
they-
when
why'd they-
people
why'd
bitch
they
about
pass so
San
much?
Antonio, because like what they didn't have over 100. Every match they played in the playoffs, they had less passes, completed passes per minutes played.
I remember you telling me that like they had like less than 100 touches or something like that, or passes. I mean,
Completed passes. Their completed passes was around 50%.
it's crazy. Yeah, but I mean,
Spain had
if the
number
concept
one-
works for you, why not?
number one. How odd is it to get 1,000 passes in a match
It's very odd. That's
Yeah.
like
and
it's all
score
you're
one
doing.
goal?
I mean, what was the possession on that game? Spain must have had. They had to have at least 70-80% possession. I mean, that is ridiculous to have 1,000 passes. What is it?
82.
82. See,
Mhm.
that is ridiculous,
82
bro.
to 18.
Total shot. I mean,
Oh,
Japan
hey,
still got
what
6
about
shots.
Mexico almost getting eliminated on fair play?
Yeah.
that would have been funny. Like, really? On yellow cards? That would have been crazy. But yeah, so Japan, I got Japan winning that one. You, Harry?
No, I like Croatia.
Croatia? All right.
I think Croatia.
I'm a Madrid fan. I'm a Madrid fan, but they got Luka, so. But
So you
I
got
still
Spain
think
and
Japan.
Morocco.
Sunshine. Who you
I
got?
think.
Spain,
Oh, I
Morocco?
think I got Spain. They just got too much depth. They got to wake up. Morocco, they got intensity, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to quality of the players, individual players.
So you realize that would set up because what group? H, G, and H. Which one's G? Which one's H? So Brazil is G. So Brazil's winning their group, right? Most likely. These are still games to be played tomorrow. Brazil versus Cameroon, and Switzerland versus Serbia, and then you got Portugal versus South Korea, and Uruguay versus Ghana, which I guess is kind of a famous rematch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Previous World Cup with the handball is my understanding.
That
And
was,
they got
South Africa.
Airy. They got Airy or whatever his name was, Airy, and oh shit, my bad. They got Airy and Luis Suarez. Suarez was the one who was the one who did what did they call it? La mano de la Virgen.
I don't remember, but
They called it La mano de la Virgen. So is where he put his hand in front on the goal line, and Ghana was awarded a penalty, and he missed it. It wasn't Array, it was another guy. Oh, Ayu is the one who's playing for Ghana right now. Still, they was on that team. But anyways,
yeah.
he misses, and Ghana doesn't go through. Uruguay makes it to the semifinals and loses in the semifinals. I think they ended up getting third place that World Cup. But
Yeah, that was 2010 South Africa, right?
yeah.
Yep.
So
who gets out of these groups? I think Brazil and Portugal are pretty safe. So probably to go through as the number ones. Who goes through as the second?
So what are the exact matchups tomorrow? Brazil and Switzerland.
Serbia
right?
and Switzerland. So 2 versus 4, which is Switzerland's at 3, even goal difference. Serbia's
So
1, -2.
Switzerland gets through. I think Switzerland gets through.
You think they beat Serbia or draws with them at least?
Yeah. I think they either draw or win. And then
That's going to be a good game to watch because if Serbia wins, they're in.
They're in.
Assuming Cameroon doesn't upset Brazil, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even their bench. So, and then Group H, you got tomorrow's Ronaldo, and he's actually gone from Manchester United now.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I had Ghana and Uruguay with Uruguay winning the group. I had Portugal coming in third. I thought they were going to be the team that missed out, with all the drama with Ronaldo. I thought it would, but they pulled through.
So here's what I think is going to happen. I think South Korea is going to get through, and Ghana and Uruguay draw.
You think South Korea beats Portugal?
Portugal with their subs. Yeah, because they're not going to play their starting lineup. They're through.
So by how many goals do you think that they beat Portugal by then?
1. 2-1.
So then Ghana would still advance.
Would they?
If it's a draw.
No, South Korea would win. South Korea wins. Oh, I see what you're saying.
They would be at 4 points.
They got
Ghana
4?
would, if they draw.
Okay, well then whatever it would
scored
take for South Korea to get through. Whatever it would take for South Korea to get through.
A win.
So Uruguay would have to win, yeah.
So Uruguay would have to win, but then Uruguay wouldn't get because they got -2.
-2 goal difference. So as long as it's let's say they win 1-0 over Ghana and South Korea wins 1 over Portugal, South Korea.
So even this group, it comes down to the last day. I mean, Portugal could even get spanked 5-0 and get second place still in this group. So anything's possible.
Yeah, that striker for South Korea, Cho, he's been playing really good.
The 5 Kims, the back line of 5 Kims.
Yeah, Kim.
Yep.
I think that'd be a cool fantasy football name, the 5 Kims.
The hair from my Kimmy Kim. So what that's your predictions on that. Let me ask you guys a question for you personally. Best game of the World Cup so far?
Best game or best moments?
Best game.
Oof. I got to reach back. There's been a lot of soccer matches.
There has been a lot.
I'll
start.
Here.
I'll give you my two. I got Portugal versus Ghana. When Ghana should have tied that one, the final 9 minutes. They just that
was a good one.
Yeah, he tricked the goalkeeper, dude, perfectly. And then we got
Portugal Ghana 3-2 thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Japan versus Germany. So those two are my two favorite from the World Cup so far, and Japan versus Germany because that was the first one that we saw that we're like, what the hell? Or was it? Yeah, that was Germany's first game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was whenever I was just like, oh snap! Like
I
Japan
think
is serious right now.
Cameroon,
The Serbia-Cameroon, that one was a good one.
3-3 draw where Cameroon scored first. Serbia came back to take a 3-1 lead, and then Cameroon came back with 2 immediate goals, 63 and 66, to tie it out. That game swung back and forth to where, that last 30-some minutes, you're like, hey, can somebody break through? But you could just tell they were exhausted.
Yeah.
There. I know one that kind of stood out to me.
Yeah, I agree that that Japan versus Germany game, it was just like, what the heck's going on? Like,
For real.
damn, that was crazy. The
Germany.
other one that I liked was watching that Brazil match versus who was that? Well, that 2-0 game where Richardson, he scored that bicycle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That was a good one because it was a pretty intense game.
Serbia
versus, was it Serbia?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
their
a really
first
close
match.
game.
So is that the best goal of the World Cup so far?
Yeah, without doubt.
Ooh, Mexico's
Richarlison.
goal though. That Mexico goal.
So Chavez
No.
scored a golazo.
That's
No,
you saw that
Richarlison,
free
the
kick.
technique. I mean,
no.
That dipper. It was
It was
good.
a nice goal, but no.
Yeah, it was a free kick. But each time I saw that, I mean, you don't see those a lot. So
yeah, that was a beautiful moment. So
it could have been Bell with that shot from half field if they wouldn't have fouled versus US.
hey, I'll take that foul. I'll
Yeah.
take that foul all day, bro. I mean, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do. We got a yellow card, but
Yeah. So, Austin FC, MLS actually, MLS, but my Austin FC.
Yeah, we're gonna go from World Cup
FC
to
Dallas.
MLS.
it's actually
Yeah.
a pretty smooth transition because somehow somebody snuck an Austin FC tifo or flag into the World Cup match, which I'm kind of surprised. So.
Yeah. You like that, don't you?
I didn't like it, but
I know you like it, but look at that Austin FC koozie right there you got.
I have a Moon Tower one. That's about the Austin
Moon
FC
Tower.
that I have.
Shout out Moon Tower, Landon and Jeremiah. What's his name? Jeremiah Bentley.
Although I did exchange a
pretty cool name.
FC scarf with an Austin FC scarf this year, so I gotta get it up on the wall. But
we'll have to do that. Hey, so I did want to ask you, when you come to Q2, by the way, they did announce it January 10th, River Plate versus Monterrey Rayados. Oh, are you gonna come down, Sunshine? You hear about that one or no?
Mm-mm.
So
River Plate?
River Plate from Argentina is coming down to play, or coming up to play Monterrey Rayados.
Is it because of what's his name coming back from loan or what? Making that connection?
Pochettino. Or
Pochettino?
Driussi played for them too. Funes Mori, he played for them.
But there must be some sort of contact with them
right now.
It's one of the best stadiums in the Americas, so.
What do you think about Pochettino coming back?
So let's get into Austin FC off-season, and so Pochettino coming back, bro. He's gonna come back, bro. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to buy his contract out because nobody's gonna want to buy him. Pick up his loan. I think he's like on $600K a year. So regardless, even River Plate, they did not want to play him because they didn't want to pay. Like there's a certain amount of minutes. If you go over the minutes, then you have to pay more and more money. Whatever minutes you use, you got to pay, right? Mm-hmm. So they didn't want to pay for him. So it's going to be tough to get a club to want to do that.
They don't want to pay him because he doesn't have the quality.
I think so.
Does he have the quality for MLS?
I don't see why not. I just don't think that he's good in our locker room. That's the problem.
But
you're right. I mean, And he plays a 10. He plays the 10 position. He plays a
if
cam.
he comes back,
That's what he wants to play.
If he comes back, apologizes, because before it wasn't an issue in the locker room, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
was. I mean, so since last season, Wolf had him playing like a wing and all that kind of deal, and he didn't want to play that position. So he spoke up, said, "Hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to play," and I guess Wolf was just not playing him at that position,
giving him the Reina treatment.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly, right. And it got sour in the locker room, and the locker room wasn't even as tight as it was this year. So for it to be like that, it can get sour real quick whenever you don't have support or somebody to calm somebody else down or whatever, So we already lived it. It's bad in the locker room. Driussi took his number 7. Driussi is the Argentine that's here shining. He's gonna come and try to step into all that. After Maxi was here as an Argentine, it's just like Mexicans. Like there's different types of Mexicans. Just like white people. There's different types of white people. Like there's different types of Argentines. I think they just don't click together, and I just don't think that he's
different personalities.
Yeah, different personality, which had nothing to do with his quality, nothing to do with it. But we're doing something here. The culture is already set, and if he's not really trying to, vibe with that, then what's the point of really having Pochettino here?
But maybe being off basically was off last year. Maybe that kind of helps him refocus and encourages him to play nice. We'll just say.
Yeah, well, for him to be a backup, because he would be a backup, I don't think that he's going to be a starter.
But there's 2 layers to this. There's the team aspect, which you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Austin FC fan base and the community? Well, would they welcome him back? Because I've seen kind of mixed reactions online.
I think the people who I think it's like 70-30. 70% wouldn't want him here, and then 30% would be like, yeah, like I've always liked him, or just that kind of deal.
Until he scores that goal.
Well, even if he did score a goal, it didn't matter. Like to me, he'd have to come back and really show that he's like everyone else. Like to me, he's just kind of like uptight, like doesn't really like I don't know.
Personality doesn't match.
Yeah, it doesn't match like what we have going on here. Like he's more like I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So Pochettino, that's a tough one. We did have a few announcements, off-season moves. We had Jared Stroud, man. Jared Stroud, he went to St. Louis City. They're the new expansion club that's coming in. We got $100K in GAM for him. He had 1 goal, 4 assists for us for, I think, like 23 or 27 appearances. And only had like 13 starts or something like that. So, I mean, good for him. I'm sure he's going to get some more playing time over there, more playing time than he was going to get here. He was probably going to be an MLS Next Pro type of player for us. If that's going to be where he gets some playing time, then why not? All for it. You know what I mean? That clears up our roster for that position. The club announced some roster decisions. Hector Jimenez, he's out of contract, and the declined options are Danny Houston, Freddie Kleeman, Felipe Martins, which he's now at Orlando City Soccer Club, have signed him. So he went from Austin to another Austin club, per se. Let's see. There's Felipe right there, right behind me, watching me. But Will Pulisic, which is Christian Pulisic's little brother, he's gone. They declined his option, and then Andrew Tarbell. Andrew Tarbell
went to Houston.
He went down 290 and caught a team over there, which sucks because whenever he comes here, bro, he's gonna hear that. He's gonna hear that. Trust me. He's gonna hear some. What's that?
You think he's a starter?
I think so. A lot of the Houston fan base on Twitter, they're not with it. They're like, why the hell would we start a guy that just came from Austin? But I mean, honestly, to me, Tarbell is better than Clark at this point. Maybe at Clark's prime, when he was at his peak, maybe Clark would have been better. But at this point right now, Tarbell, I think, is going to be who's a starter. And we're going to be hearing Houston fans talking about how Tarbell this, Tarbell that, and none of them are going to apologize or say that they didn't think that he would be a starter. But I think he will be. What do you think?
According to this, they would have 4 goalkeepers on the roster right now.
Because they have Clark, Nelson, Tarbell.
Clark, Nelson, Tarbell, and Javier Valdez, which I haven't heard, but it's for a team that's got a lot of openings, having 4 goalkeepers is and I know you carry 3. To me is kind of excessive in my opinion.
Yeah.
They might want to play them all at the same time. They might want to put 4 keepers so they don't get scored on.
Come on now. What do you know that we don't know? Aren't you Clark's boyfriend?
No.
All right, so then they did the no transfer option for Washington Corozo. We got him for 6 months. He came here, got hurt, had a surgery at one of the top hospitals in the nation, and I mean,
he came on a vacation, got a little Zilker Park action, and cruising on the kayak, and packed his bags home and got a paycheck.
I mean, literally, bro, literally. Like I don't get, but now what is he gonna do? He didn't prove nothing here. What team is gonna want him? I mean, lower division team, obviously, but he's gonna have to take a pay cut. So I hope, like famous B says from Top Flight, better be saving those paychecks, man, because that money goes quick. That money goes quick, bro.
Especially in Austin. Oh.
Yeah. Oh
That
yeah,
rent
man.
money.
At Q2.
What, $12 a beer, right? Thank you.
Nah, it's 17 for the 24
17.
ounce. For a 24 ounce, dude. Yeah, crazy. Austin FC, they face Violet AC and the CONCACAF Champions League. That's gonna be good. They're out of Haiti, a team out of Haiti.
What's CONCACAF Champions League?
Oh, it's a league that you play whenever you're pretty good in the MLS. It's a chant for champions. You know what I'm saying? Since we won Copa Tejas championship,
Where's Dallas where's Dallas and Houston in this?
So, Dallas, you guys actually made it to the semifinal one year, right? A couple years back.
Yeah, a while back. I want to say like 17.
17 or something like that. So yeah, well, get used to Daddy making it to the CONCACAF Champions League.
This is the last year, and then everybody and their brother gets invited to it. Next year, because I think between MLS and Liga MX, they get like 75% of the bids. So it'll be interesting to see how 2023 going forward Champions League will look and be played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So first game March 7th. That's going to be at 5 p.m. That won't be in the Dominican Republic because I guess they don't have any the way that the situation is over there in Haiti. It's not safe.
We keep getting torn down with all the hurricanes.
Yeah, so it's not safe over there. And at Q2, we play them Tuesday, March 14th at 7 p.m. So y'all get ready for those Champions League vibes. Those, this is the champion. It's about to be lit.
I wonder what it's going to be televised on. It'll be blacked out in San Antonio, but I wonder what it'll be. Is that a part of the Apple TV deal?
That's a good question. I'll have to ask my connects. So that's good news, man. We qualified for that since LAFC, Philadelphia, and Montreal, the Canada team. So we qualified for that through them.
So it does not cover now.
The Apple Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least at this
Gotcha.
time.
So we did sign a new player. Let's see if I can say his name right. Sofiane Jeffal.
Young player, right?
Yeah, Jeffal. He's 23 years old. He's from France, but he went to college here, and he's out of DC United. He actually started his professional career last year with DC United. He had 19 starts, 1 assist, but I think he's more of a like an 8, but a little bit more reserved type of player. He's young, he's ambitious. I think him and Danny are going to complement each other well in the midfield. I don't think he's going to be an MLS Next Pro. So the way we got him was.
You don't think he will?
I don't think he's going to be an MLS Next Pro player. No, I think
You
he's
think
going
he
to be.
gets loaned out, or you think he's going to be kind of,
I think he's going to be
fringe
with
roster
us.
player?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a role player for us. So I could see him being on first team definitely. The way we got him, he was in an MLS reentry draft. So we got that through the first trade. Let's see. Acquired the first pick via trade with DC United, in which DC received 50,000 in GAM money, and the 26. So they got our 26th pick in the reentry draft, stage 1, which was the same round that we got him in. So they got pretty much our pick per se, our next pick in that. So we welcome him. What do you guys think? You guys know anything about this guy?
Not really. He's a young player, and FC Dallas, they get a lot of homegrown players, a lot of young players. We'll go into our season and off season, what that looks like, but we let a lot of young players go. So
Yeah, you did.
A lot. So it's a trial and error kind of deal. You're going to bring him in, see what he does, and if he doesn't work out, he's a young player. He didn't cost you guys that much trade pick. So hopefully it works out.
Yeah, he'll be supplemental and international slots on our roster. So I think we have one more international slot on our roster, which you can buy. You can buy international slots, but I mean, you run out of spots. Yeah, you run out of spots eventually. He was pretty good player in college. He played at Oregon State University. He was named to the All Pac-12 first team for the 4 consecutive years that he was there. He was named Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. So, I mean, the kid is, one of those guys that likes the spotlight on him, I guess you can say. So, I can see him trying to come here, the fans, the lights, the Austin, the vibes, maybe trying to come here and really step it up. That way he can become a star at a young age. I think that's any kid's dream as a soccer player, is just to be a star, for everyone to know your name, wearing your name on the back of their jersey, whatever.
This almost sounds like a Kip Keller action move right now.
But see, Kip Keller, he's not a bad player.
Yeah.
It's not like he was a bust or anything.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah,
he should have got more minutes, in my opinion.
He should have got more minutes. 100%.
And that's what I was referring to. Is like, I think at the beginning of the season, everybody was excited for him, and he just didn't get the.
But even towards the end of the season, still confused as to like why we're playing Romagna, and he's still hamstring, and like, bro,
he's over there grabbing his hamstring every game.
He's grabbing his hamstring walking out the tunnel, bro.
He's over there warming up.
Pledge of Allegiance, and he's all grabbing his hamstring. It smells like icy hot out here, guys. Is that Romagna? That's funny. So also, Brad Stuver with the multi-year contract, 3 guaranteed years through 2025 with an option for 2026. His 2022 stats are 3,008 minutes, 34 starts, 100 saves. He's tied for 8th in the MLS in total saves and 2nd for clearances. Brad Stuver with a hell of a performance this season.
Do you like that deal, though?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
is he an elite goalkeeper? Because just from what I've heard, is he's a good goalkeeper. I'm not saying he's poor. but could Austin FC do better?
So here's my thoughts on the goalkeeper situation. I think that Damian Loss is one of those guys that just hasn't had his shot yet. He was at Fulham, he was training with the Fulham Academy. I think he's really good. So I think it's a good mentor. Stuver has a little bit more growing to do. I think the MLS and a lot of people hype him up more than what he really is.
Well, I think the
But
reason why he gets it is because he's such a great community ambassador
off the
for
pitch,
Austin FC.
right? Off the pitch,
And
yeah.
He's a fan favorite. That's what it is.
Fan favorite, ooh, when you go to the stadium. So,
Well, I was gonna say he's a fan favorite, but if it ain't broke, then why fix it? You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they lost games because of him, or damn, we need another goalkeeper. There, he did have some errors. I mean, he did have some errors, but that's every goalkeeper. It could be a world class keeper, and you can have an off day.
But to me, and this is the reason why I asked the question. Because MLS is growing, whether we like it or not. MLS is growing as a league, and the talent each year is getting better. Just like in USL, the talent each year is getting better. You're signing him to a 3-year contract, right? I think is what you said, or at least 2 with the team option for a third.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how much, and of course we don't know what that magic number is as of yet. Did he get a raise, or is it just hey, he got the status quo along those lines, and we could go through and pull up to see what he earned last year. But to me, I wonder if there's other possibilities that are out there. Now, I'm not saying you got to go like I think it's St. Louis FC that went out and spent a DP on a goalie, or a foreign, spent money on a big foreign goalkeeper. Or the Rapids have done that. It just doesn't work out. So that's the reason why I ask: is taking away the community aspect of it, where he's an all-star on nobody better to help with the branding of Austin FC. On the pitch, as Austin FC gets better, is he going to be able to step up and continue to grow? That's my only question.
Yeah, no, that's a fair question, and it's a good question because I really don't know. It's possible, right? And I've seen him make mistakes playing out the back, and when he's getting pressured, he still plays out the back. To me, I don't give a damn.
And that's
what
his problem
Josh Wolf
is
I don't give a damn what if Josh Wolf
distribution.
says, yes, like fuck, like just clear the damn ball at those situations. That's YMCA. Like bro, like it's not that difficult. But yeah, that's a fair question, right? So, like Sunshine's goalie, I love.
I was gonna
Martin
say,
Paz.
look at
he's
FC Dallas.
elite. He's elite. To me, in my opinion, he's a keeper that if somebody gave him a DP slot and he played the way he performed this year, I could see why.
Well, yeah,
I could see why.
I think you.
Not that we're suggesting that by any means. Let's not.
I think you bring up a good point on how. I mean, I think Martin Paz he came into our organization and he made a big difference this year compared to Jimmy did a good. I would compare Jimmy to a Brad Stuver kind of level. The goalkeeper we had last year, and then you bring in somebody like Martin Paz, he's going to step up that.
And that's why I asked that question is because Austin FC has goals to get further and further in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Stuver is that guy that can command the team, that can guide the team, in the heavy minutes. During the season, I don't have any issues. But when you need that distribution, can you trust him, to make the right decisions? And at this point, it's a question. I'd say most of the time he does great, but I don't know that if there's goalkeeper stats on I believe there is, errors by the goalkeeper that leads to goals. I bet you he's in the upper third on in MLS on that here. Just well, maybe not because there's some shitty goalkeepers in MLS. So
I agree, man.
But I think because they gave him that 3-year contract, they trust him. they're going to move forward with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a goalkeeper.
It's a done deal now.
Yeah,
it's
next
done.
season,
it's like with Wolf. Yeah,
yeah. If he doesn't do good this season, well, guess what? They could get another goalkeeper next season. So I don't think it's a locked in 3 years that he's
and we
going to
don't
have a
know
spot.
what what the price was. He could
Right.
have
Well,
been
we'll
bought
find
down.
out later in the year.
He could have been bought down and just been like, hey, here's 3 years that you're going to get this money now. You're aging, you're getting towards the end of your career.
But he's
Here's
a young
guaranteed
kid, though,
3
right?
years.
He's still young, right?
I don't think so. I think he's like 31.
Yeah, I think
Well,
that's
that's
31.
young for.
I mean, it's not young these days anymore in soccer. To me, how old is he?
I'm trying to see if I can find him.
I think that's right. 31.
31.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, he's 31.
He's been backup for a while now with other clubs.
Yeah, so good luck to him. Alfonso Ocampo Chavez, 20-year-old California native.
AOC.
He was with the Tacoma Defiance in the MLS Next Pro. 9 goals, 4 assists, 23 appearances. He was in the U14, U15, U17 U.S. Youth, and he was in the 2019 U17 FIFA World Cup. He's going to take up homegrown and supplemental roster spots. I think this is a great signing. I really do.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
I think he's going to be a good pickup. So it was the MLS end of year waiver list. We kind of picked up on that, and we, I guess, talked with him, negotiated a contract, and came to terms with one, and were able to sign him, which was pretty much to extend his homegrown contract. And we brought him here per se. So I think he's going to do great, bro. I'm excited about this.
Do you think he starts with the 2 team, the next pro list?
No, man, that's tough. I think he'll be a sub for us. I think he will be a sub for us, and
I think he'll be that tweener where if he doesn't get minutes, he'll get time with Austin FC 2.
Yeah, definitely. And wherever it is, I'm excited to see. I'm gonna watch both. I'm gonna follow both. And next season, we're gonna cover. Well, I'm gonna cover the whatever team it is. Hopefully, they call it the Tech String of Fire team. Nah, but whatever they name.
Yeah, this is
Austin
MLS.
2.
It'll be Austin FC 2.
Yeah, Austin FC 2 or
they might do Austin FC Dos or
the Mean Green.
I don't think you can do that with UNT, North Texas.
Oh, the Big Green. The Big Green. That's what it was. You ever watched that movie? So that was filmed
up in the Austin area, right?
That was
Steve Gutman.
Some of it was filmed in Taylor, and that's where me and Sunshine went to high school.
The Southside Bridge.
Yeah. Taylor Cafe.
I like it.
Miller. But yeah, so I like this. He's gonna be a homegrown. He's obviously not out of Austin, but he played with the Tacoma Defiance for the MLS Next Pro, and to have 9 goals, 23 appearances, that's maxi numbers. Those are maxi numbers right there. So I think with the right environment, the right squad, with Driussi behind him, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to see what this kid's gonna bring.
See, I don't know if you will, because these supplemental slots 25 through 28.
Okay.
And then Kip Keller's supplemental slots 21 to 24.
Yeah,
so if he's in that second tier of supplemental slots, I think most of his time is going to be, going to be, at the training facility. I forget what the.
You think so? St. David's Performance Center.
St. David's, yeah.
But
because that's where.
But if he's in second tier, then that means his salary's higher, doesn't it?
Well, Owen Wolf was 29-30s, but
yeah, he's 29-30s because he's minimum.
The coach's son, so.
But he's 29-30 because he's minimal homegrown salary.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think he'll. Like you say, it'll be a tweener. I do think it'll be a tweener. Man,
Redis is still on the team.
Yeah, I know, right? So
Redis is still there.
Let's put that back on here. So we got Stuver, Las, Romagna, Gabrielson, Keller, Gallagher, Cascante, Komanich, Lima, Asensio, Valencia, Pereira, Ring, Finlay, Fagundes, Wolf, Rigoni, Pochettino, Jafar, Gite, Rusi, Redes, Urruti, and Chavez. So, bro, I mean,
Puro tronco arriba.
I don't.
You guys don't
Romania?
have any more roster slots left, right?
Yeah, we do. We do. We have like 8. Because we just let go of a few.
I feel like you guys need another dynamic player on the right wing. Like I don't think Finlay is gonna do it for the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, we got Rigoni.
but Rigoni too.
Rigoni's supposed to be that guy. Rigoni's supposed to be that guy.
Supposed to be.
You know,
He
I
loses.
went over Gallagher's, bro. Gallagher, he got a 4-year contract too, guaranteed 4-year guaranteed in 2027 option. He's 26 years old, man, multi-year contract. So he's here for the long run. It's crazy because he came in as a winger, and now he's our left back, starting left back. Took the job from John Komanich, and so John Komanich, Ronnie Redes, and Musajite, they take up the U22 spots. That's another big thing that we need to take care of this offseason. We need to let go of Redes. And I think that we should buy out his contract. So if we could get a loan out for Pochettino and then get Redes bought out, Komanich is getting paid a lot of money, bro. And we signed him last year. I feel like we probably could have let him go, because he's not really performing that well. To get your job taken from a player that's not even his real position. I don't know, bro.
Not good.
Yeah, you might need to figure something else out for that. But congrats to Gallagher. I think it's fair. He could be a little better defensively, but the thing I like about him is that he is consistent. So you always know what you're going to get out of Gallagher. So that's fine. He's only going to get better, in my opinion. 26. Hey, if we get another left back, we can always move him around now, right? Move him back up the wing or move him to the right side. Or he's even played a 9. So better the thoughts, man. Driussi to Leeds. We'll end with the Driussi and man, so Driussi to Leeds, that's becoming a rumor, and it's possible he's worth, 15 million now? So if Leeds come knocking with 20 million, it's possible. But he seems like he wants to stay here. His Instagram, the way he's moving, it just seems like he wants to be here.
He's trying to keep you guys as happy as possible, as much time.
Right. And he's buying himself time.
Yeah.
So that we don't hate him, right? I don't know. And then Diego Fagundes. I'm going to end with Diego Fagundes. Austin FC, if you watch this or when you watch this, you got to give my man a bag. You got to give him some money. His salary right now is half of what he's worth. It's not even half of what he's worth. I mean, y'all saw it come out. $5 million is what he's worth on the market. You know what he's getting paid right now? Like $500K or something like that. Like, are you kidding me? Stuver's getting paid more. Tarbell's getting paid more than him.
And he knows that.
Husin,
Yeah.
So Husin needs to get that Husin money needs to be given to to him, bro. But even a TAM deal. Like, I don't know, bro. But
so what happens this season? Then does he get a new contract or?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Everyone, I'm serious. All my Austin FC homies. If Austin FC does not put a bag and a contract in front of Diego Fagundes ASAP,
He's gone. He's bye-bye.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah,
Hey.
I don't know what to tell you. Man, bro.
Austin FC.
Don't say I didn't say nothing. Don't say I didn't tell y'all. But
So last year his base salary is $450,000.
It shouldn't even be it should be a no-brainer, bro. Your best player. I was having an argument with this buddy of mine. He's a legend, bro. To me, he's a legend already in Austin. He will always be remembered in Austin. We will always be like, bro, remember Diego? Remember Diego when
the one that scored the first goal for Austin FC in
right.
history?
You know what I'm saying? Like all that shit.
So not that I want to drag this out much longer, but we were talking about Stuver. What do you think his salary was? Take a guess.
Last season?
185.
Yeah.
Like 200.
Tarbell was making 308.
Okay, so Tarbell would make it more than Fagundes, but still, like you know
so
what I'm
you
saying?
figure Stuver's got to be making
Ring
at least
making
what Tarbell did.
Yeah, like, well, at least. So, I mean, give my man Diego a bag, bro. Like you have to, you got to, because if not,
Pochettino is making 585. So
yeah, I know exactly what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. So that's from RB22 to my Austin FC people. We're gonna hit that 35 and hit the toll road. What's going on, Sunshine? What's going on in Dallas? Let's talk about the moves going on over there.
A lot of roster cuts over here made. We're just like last year, we're going to bring in a lot of players. We let a lot of young players go. I think for the most part, for our solid starting lineup is pretty much the same. I think the biggest one that is not going to be there, which was kind of expected, was Matt Hedges, our defender. He's getting up there in age, middle 30s. I think he's 33, 34. But we saw it throughout the season. He got beat on some plays that he shouldn't have. Him combined with Martinez, I felt like they were a little bit slow. So basically they said, we're done with Matt Hedges. So that was the big one there for the defense. Then we got some others that were declined, and these were players that didn't really get much playing time. So isn't really going to affect us, but that allows for new homegrown players to come out, which FC Dallas has already signed a couple of those. But some of the ones that we declined were Lucas Bartlett, the one that he was basically a defender that we got in the draft last year. He didn't really see much playing time. Really didn't even see a lot of playing time with the first team, and not even with the next pro team.
I know the next pro team had a good season.
Oh yeah,
bro.
They had a good season. So it was tough to get into their roster as well. There's just a lot of depth there too.
Yeah.
So, Lucas didn't make it. Khalil, he didn't make it either. Matt Hedges, Nicky Hernandez.
That one surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, because he was doing pretty good over in San Antonio, getting some good minutes as a sub.
He was doing all right. He got hurt in the playoffs, so he wasn't on the. He wasn't active in the playoffs, but I was kind of surprised a little bit. I can kind of see it because he didn't start for San Antonio, but San Antonio had Abu and PC ahead of him, solid veterans, mid-20s, or Abu's 30. But I thought he's going to land somewhere, and it'll be interesting to see how he does. Obviously, for San Antonio, we're hoping he lands back here, but I think he flirts with another MLS team.
Yeah, and again, those were, Lucas, he was a draft pick. The others were homegrown players that
they aged out, right? I think to me that's how I.
Correct. Yeah, they gave them their opportunities in the first team. They didn't really do much with it, and so that it's time to let them go and see if they could get another MLS team adventure out there. So Benny Redditch, that's another young player that he would come in as a substitute. I don't know if you guys ever saw him play. He had like curly hair, kind of short, but again, he didn't really do much on the field.
Talking about me?
Right? Nah. He had shorter hair. And then the other one was Thomas Roberts. So those were all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players let go. So that's another 7 roster spot opportunities for young players coming in. And then the loan ending. So Nanu, which he had come in from Porto as a right back. Tumasi basically played the whole season, and Nanu would come in as a sub. And so that was disappointing to see. I thought he was going to do a lot better this season, but Tumasi won that spot. And so they ended ties with Nanu, and they're letting him go. And he's going back to Porto. Quinones, he was the Colombian young player. I think he was 19 or 20. He was a defender, brought him in middle of the season, last season, as a center back. Didn't really have a lot of playing time either, and so they ended the loan there. So they're not going to sign up there. So I don't think they like what they saw on the field there. They didn't really have a lot of opportunities, really, but from when he played, I think the MLS was just a little too physical for him. In the plays that I saw him, he would get bodied out, and I think we need some solid defenders back there, especially with the physicality of the game and where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Edwin Cerillo, he's going to continue. Marco Farfan coming in from LAFC last year. That was a good pickup. And Sabale, he's
So
also good.
Edwin Cerillo is one of my homeboys' cousin from Waco.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I think Edwin Cerillo, he's from Waco, Texas.
Yeah, he's from Waco.
Homegrown player. And then everybody else, really, from the starting lineup. We signed up Martin Paz for another deal.
Are you gonna be able to hold on to Jesus Ferreira? Because I've heard some Arsenal talks.
Yeah, I think it's still a little too early. And
it was too early for Beppe. That didn't stop him.
I know, but I feel like even with like his position, like last year he didn't really play as a 9. He played as a number 10. This was his first year playing as a false 9 for the first time. He's been getting those offers, but I mean, we saw it with Beppe. I don't think it's the right time. I think we got to build consistency with him, and if he can have another year like what he did last year for us again, I think that's going to be the better option for him. I think with these players, you just got to give them a little bit of time to develop still, and I think he still needs to develop. I think if he was the caliber of playing with Arsenal or an English Premier team, he would have already been playing with the U.S. men's national team as a starter, but he's not. So that kind of tells you where he's at skill-wise. What do you guys think?
I think you're kind of hoping that you're right because if Arsenal wants him, they're gonna come get him. 15 or whatever he's worth. It's nothing to them. So
of course, if he goes,
and they'll take him to sit the bench too.
Exactly. That's what he needs to think about. Is like, okay, you're gonna go to this English Premier League, but are you gonna be playing? Is that gonna be the most beneficial for you as a player developing in the training ground, but you're not going to get those game minutes that you really need.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the MLS needs to grow, and for him to leave is going to hurt his career, like Beppe. Like Beppe's struggling. Well, he was struggling. I mean, he's doing good in what, the Netherlands, the Holland League?
Yeah, Holland League. Yeah. He's been scoring goals. Didn't get called up for the U.S. men's national team, but
that one was tough.
I think we called that one whenever he left.
We did. Yeah, we did.
So the new pickups, so like I said, they let a lot of homegrown young players go, but then they also signed up from the next pro team. They signed up Tariq Scott, 17 years old, to a 3-year contract with the club for options until 2026. He was very promising with the next pro. He was scoring goals, very versatile player, strong. So, excited to see what he can do for us in the future as a sub.
No doubt.
The other one is Nolan Nolan Norris, officially the 35th FC Dallas homegrown player. So again, young player, just got to rebuild that, just that routine, right? That change it up kind of deal there, where you got these homegrown players, you got to switch them up if they don't work out. And so, I mean, you got to see, you guys have seen the amount of players FC Dallas has in their academy teams.
Yeah.
They start all the way from like 8 years old. I mean, they've been watching these kids play since 8 years old. So that's 10 years by the time that they're 18.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know. Yeah, they know who's going to go.
And then the other one was Jose Mulato. He also played for the next pro team, signed him up as well. And so he came from Deportivo Cali, but he was playing with the North Texas team last season. So we officially signed him up for FC Dallas. But those are the roster changes over here. Like I said, we got a lot of building to do. I think we need some depth in the defense still. And then up top, I think we still need to look for our second striker up there. Jesus Ferreira can't be the only guy that we have, because if he needs to come out as a sub, the season is long. We need to at least have another good number 9 up top. So
Franco Jara?
Nah, he's not gonna get the job done there.
What a waste of a DP.
Yeah,
what a waste.
He's a 2 to 3 goal striker. That's not gonna cut it. Can't do that.
Horrible.
So yeah, that's all we got over here. FC Dallas with the roster changes. We'll see what they'll do in the offseason to bring in some good talent.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Sunshine, for that FC Frisco at the Disco news. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Moving down. I don't even know what route you would take to Houston. What route do you take from Houston to?
Straight arrow down 45.
45?
Yep, 45 all the way down. 4 hours.
45 over here is a toll road, dog. Can't take 45.
No.
That's funny. There's Harry. Where you at, Harry?
Got a little speaker issues over there.
The producer. Can't hear the producer. Yeah, we can hear you. I hear you whispering.
Hello. Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Can you guys say something?
Can you hear us?
No, I don't hear you guys.
Oh, man. Having technical difficulties over here. So Houston Dynamo, they from what I know, they got a new coach, Ben Olsen. Ben Olsen, he's out of DC United. Winning ways over there. Not really. you bring that kind of DNA, to Houston whenever they haven't even really been doing too well. It's like, damn.
Well, they got Hector Herrera coming back home early from the World Cup.
Hey,
So,
that could be good, right? That could be good news for them. That, or it could be bad news. He's gonna have more of a vacation.
Yeah.
You know he likes to party, bro. He's a party kind of guy.
Yeah, he's put in his time with the European teams.
Yeah. But I don't really know much about Ben Olsen or what's going on with the Dynamo.
No, neither do I. But hopefully it works out for them this year, because they've gone through 2 to 3 different coaches in a short period of time, and it just feels like it's a new season with the same recipe.
Yeah. So Kenny Bundy, he's also the Dynamo's new coach, but I've been talking with old soccer guy, the old guy that used to be on this show. He went and did his own thing, whatever, dog. But he's excited for. They're excited for Ben Olsen, just like they were for Paulo Nagamura. You
Yeah,
know.
they were excited about the Kucher, and look what happened
Yeah,
here.
yeah, the coochie. They're excited. But you know, all the luck to Houston. If there's any Houston people, that want to come and banter with us, shit, feel free. So, hey, what do you know about Ben Olsen, Harry? You there or not? Not yet.
He's like, jack shit. I don't know anything about Ben Olsen.
All right, he's like, I'm San Antonio.
Oh,
guy.
there we go. What do I know about Ben Olsen?
He's coming in hot chair after a poor season.
I don't understand the hire personally. Does it inspire confidence in anybody? I don't think so. He's a retread MLS coach. If I would, but if you look at it, according to Ted Siegel, he's one of the most accomplished coaches and brings championship experience with winning 8 different MLS titles as a player. He's had
How many
mixed
titles
success.
as a player?
Said 8.
8 MLS titles as a player.
Yeah, winning 8 different MLS titles as a player.
God damn.
You got to remember, early on, DC United was a powerhouse.
Yeah, but I didn't know they won 8.
Well, I don't think they did. I think there are 3 or 4, but he's been around.
Yeah, I kind of know KC back in the Wizards. I know they were bombed too, but yeah. So like you say, I don't understand the hire either. I mean, I get that he was a badass player. I mean, can't take that away from a player, but it's hard to transfer that into being a coach. And I don't know. We'll see, bro. We'll see.
Well, the good news is he's going to have a lot of opportunity to shape the team how he wants. So there could be as many as 11 open roster spots, including 8 senior roster slots, with them declining the options of Darwin Quintero, Memo Rodriguez, and defender Zeka. And earlier they had announced that Darwin Kern and Sam Junko were out of contract, although they're still trying to re-sign Sam. But the club declined options on Mateo Baumic, Ian Hoffman, Marcelo Palmo, forward Thiago, and defender Zarek Valentine. Houston has exercised the options of Corey Baird, Ethan Bartlow, Griffin Dorsey, and Adam Lundquist. Also, moving in, they did a transfer or trade with the Columbus Crew for $300,000 in general allocation money. So they'll send $200,000 this year, $100,000 in 2024, and there's $50,000 in GAM that could be met for future performances for Archer, who rumored was to be going to Austin, but obviously that was wrong. He's a 26-year-old Brazilian, made 24 appearances for the Crew with 10 starts. He's a defensive-minded midfielder. Isn't that where Hector Herrera is? Just saying. But and then they selected Ifeanyi Achara in the second stage of the MLS reentry draft. So they have 7 days to offer him a contract. So we'll be hearing if the Dynamo reached a deal or not for him. To me, the Dynamo have made a lot of moves. They also did. They traded some players.
Yeah, I know they traded Fafa Peacock to.
Yeah, Tim Parker got traded to St. Louis FC for $500,000 in general allocation. Fafa Pico went to Nashville along those lines here. So Houston's been busy. I'm not a Dynamo fan. I don't know the depth of the roster and along those lines, but
not a Dynamo fan. You are for this show, goddammit. No.
Well, until we recruit somebody else. But
yeah,
I think the
any
biggest
Dynamo
news,
fan that wants this right here, you know what I'm saying? Bring it on.
But I think the biggest news out of Houston was the former Houston Dynamo U.S. soccer legend. Probably could still play 90 minutes today. DeMarcus Beasley was elected to the National Soccer Hall of Fame, class of 2023, which will be up there with Sunshine, in the FC Dallas stadium there. So huge congrats to him. Great U.S. men's national team player. He had a long career, and
I doubt he could play 90 minutes still, but
I bet, dude, the man's a machine.
He was a machine.
He's still a machine, man. All three of us probably couldn't put in the same time frame.
Probably not. Probably not.
But no, like I said here, to me, I think that's the biggest news out of Houston with DeMarcus Beasley. Like I said, Olsen getting hired. To me, the problem with Houston is they don't have. I still don't think they have a clear identity. Like Dallas, they're academy players. Austin, right now they're still kind of in that honeymoon stage where it'll be interesting to see what their identity is. They're still building up their academy.
I was curious to see what you were going to say. What our identity is. I was just like, what's our identity? Yeah,
but you don't have one yet. You don't.
Yeah, we don't.
You just don't have that
you're
history.
Right. You're right. It's too soon. Way too
Houston's
early.
had the opportunity. How many times have they said, "Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to be."
Well, they're restarting and restarting and restarting.
So the last coach was hired to, hey, we're going to improve the academy system and go. And to be fair, Dynamo 2 had a pretty decent year in MLS Next Pro. They brought up some talented players from there, but to me, does Olsen kind of change that? Because let's be honest, DC United didn't have a strong academy system here recently. And, is Siegel going to have the same amount of money to bring in, that DC United had?
So, I don't know. Yeah, that's fair points. Well, I mean, only time will tell, right, with that kind of situation.
They're not getting Messi. He's going to Miami, evidently. So
he's not going to Miami. I don't know why people keep. No, he's not.
He is.
Oh my gosh, dude! All right, dude. He's going to Miami, Sunshine.
In like 3 years.
No, I bet you.
When he's 37?
I bet you it's sooner than that.
Okay. He's going to Miami, but not in January, or not even in July. Not even in July.
But if there's a team he's going to, it's Miami.
Fair.
I bet you it happens in the
future.
Next 2 years.
It could be 36. It could be 37.
And you know why? Because
they're going to give him They're going to give him some of the team. I mean,
some of the team. But where in the world can you make the most amount of money? It's here in the United States.
Well,
he's got to be able to cash that check and be able, we see what Hector Herrera is doing, although he did 90 minutes for Mexico, which was a huge question mark as well.
He couldn't even do it for the Dynamo.
But I think the caliber of those players, like the Messi, the Ronaldos, the Zlatans, they don't come over here to for the money. They come here for the lifestyle.
Correct.
And so,
well, it's that and the branding though. Messi's coming over here for the branding and along those lines, because that's why he's not going to Colorado. He's going to go to that big market team to where he can hopefully make a splash. Now,
yeah, I mean, he's going to sell jerseys up the ass.
The interesting aspect on this, and I think this was a fair question, that Royce mentioned. Miami last year was in trouble with too many DPs, right? They got in trouble with the DPs.
Mm-hmm.
If reports are true, they could be landing two of the biggest DPs this year. How does that make sense?
No punishment.
You can't make that make sense. So, but it's the same thing with the Galaxy. Galaxy bent the rules and.
Well, I mean, if MLS sees that it's going to grow the league or anything, then they're going to try and close their eyes with it.
That's well, as somebody that I don't dislike MLS the league. I don't dislike the clubs in it. I dislike the silly rules and garbage.
Somebody's still mad. Nah.
Oh, I'll still go at it. I got blocked by somebody because we went through the whole rehash the San Antonio Austin MLS debacle. They're like, "Why do you still hate us?" I don't hate you, but I'm also not going to let you say San Antonio didn't put in a bid that wasn't a valid bid.
Mm-hmm. Hey, all fair. If you haven't seen, I watched it on YouTube. It's, I think you can look up like Columbus Crew, the way they went out, and Anthony Precourt, and you can see it's like 3-part series from like that on YouTube. But you can watch it. It's pretty interesting, and you can kind of see. You can kind of feel bad for San Antonio. I feel bad for San Antonio, but it had nothing to do with me personally, right? So
I will say this, and I've said this publicly before.
Hold on, are we done with Houston?
Yeah, were they even in conversation? At least they're putting in new seats, though. You saw on Twitter that they're putting in new seats now, right?
Yeah.
Nobody will sit in them, but they're putting in new seats.
They're the ones that we took out of our stadium.
Oh wow, jeez! No Houston to defend themselves.
The Dynamo.
Yeah, no Houston to defend themselves. It's all right. Look, there's Danny. Where's Danny? There's Danny scoring on him right there.
But no, for San Antonio's bid to MLS, part of it I think was the arrogance of Spurs Sports and Entertainment, because they thought, hey, we're the Spurs. At that time they were very highly rated, through NBA and through their. They didn't push the public, the publicity of their bid, and so that leads me to believe one of two things. One, they weren't 100% serious behind it. Two, they already had, knew about the Austin clause and they just couldn't say anything, so they put the bid in. But, when they put the bid in, that's when the Austin clause came out. So that's why they didn't do it. But it's done. Austin, to me,
how crazy is
smart,
it that Austin clause is in there like that?
Well, nobody knew about the Austin clause either.
Yeah, they had to have known. Yeah, that had to have been the plan the whole.
It wasn't disclosed
time.
though, but that's the issue. Is it wasn't disclosed. But to me, if MLS keeps expanding and they go to that 40 teams or even 36, we saw what happened in the Open Cup. We saw San Antonio can draw because they drew over 8,000 for the playoffs. Could you imagine, 4 teams in Texas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston, Dallas? The San Antonio-Austin rivalry would be one of the best rivalries in not only MLS, but I think just, in the world, just because it's so close. Let's be honest, neither city likes each other, we'll say.
I mean, I like it. I like San
Antonio. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I hate Houston. Like, I fucking hate Houston. Dallas,
but nobody likes Houston.
I don't like Dallas either, bro. Like Austin, I don't know. I love my city, but San Antonio.
San Antonio and Austin are so close, yet they're polar opposites.
I would disagree. Well, see, I'm Mexican, right? So when I'm in San Antonio, I feel like I'm more at home. Like, because I used to go to Mexico a lot when I was little. So I don't know, but it is different over here. It's a little bit more. Like hippie-ish, I guess you could say.
Austin is more city-ish. It's more like a city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. San Antonio, to me, is the 7th largest town in the United States because it's a town. It's laid back. You go downtown. It's not, it's not like going to Dallas downtown, Fort Worth downtown, downtown Houston, downtown Austin. It doesn't have that same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go to 6th Street. I'm not from here, but I've spent a night or two on 6th Street. You got UT, the one of the biggest universities. Dallas, Fort Worth, large metroplexes, between the two. Houston, the traffic sucks for a reason because everybody's there. Just Houston shows up when they're winning. We've seen that with the Astros. You see that with the Texans.
You got to be winning.
The Oilers.
So yeah, all right. So getting into some USL Championship. Shout out to Harry, my man. You got me some tickets to that game. It was
you, an old soccer guy.
Me, an old soccer guy, made the trip up there. So it was Louisville City, right? Soccer club.
Mm-hmm.
Versus at San Antonio. San Antonio hosted. Dude, what a freaking game! That penalty that you guys missed at first, I thought it was gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Really, really did. Well, us. I mean,
that was one of the ugliest PKs you could see too.
Was that
one of the ugliest PK attempts you could see? Wasn't even close.
Oh man, yeah, that was pretty ugly. But I mean, 3-1 was the final score, right?
Yeah, 3-1. They got a late goal.
The atmosphere was electric. Everyone was involved. The kids were energetic. Yeah. I could see you guys as an MLS club, definitely. I mean, to have that passion.
It rivaled, and I know you, an old soccer guy, came down right after the game was over. To me, it rivaled the Austin FC Open Cup match. It was that same type of atmosphere. Lou City brought a decent amount of fans down.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good section of the corner, not as much as Austin FC had, but to me, it was that type of night where San Antonio got the job done. It was done convincing, and there was no question on who was the better team that night. And for San Antonio, they best record in the regular season. Best
four losses in the regular season for the USL.
So it was
crazy. Deserved.
A lot of wins.
This
and you struggled with injury and keepers leaving and so much. Yeah, so much stuff going on.
So the big question though is Jordan Farr. Is he going to come back or does he get the shot at MLS?
I think he gets a shot. Well, so there was a few things that he did during that game that kind of made me I don't know if I want this guy on my team. He's a risk taker. He's a gambling man. He is a gambling man. I tell you that. He's crazy, bro. He's a youngster.
He's 27 though, so he's not as young as you think. So,
okay, well he lives life on the edge.
Yeah,
I can tell by the way he plays.
To me, that'll be the question for San Antonio: is how much that they can bring back. The league season just ended the 30th yesterday, so
yeah. Christian Parano, bro. So whenever we were walking out of the stadium, there was a guy with the Juventus jacket on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking him, I said, "Hey man, so what's up with the jacket?" He's like, "Oh, just here." I'm like, "Are you scouting or something?" He was like, kind of just shaking his head. And long story short, he was, scouting for Juventus, but he didn't want to tell me who he was scouting for. So, I mean, somebody at the game was getting scouted by Juventus. Don't know if it was Christian Parano, but he's a good player, man. I could see him moving up from the USL to.
Well, MLS he's actually on loan from a team over in Portugal. Although that first team's about ready to go down. We had that discussion on our show here as if would San Antonio FC be able to bring him back, and that's kind of the big question along those lines here. But for USL, we're kind of at that moment where, as a league, you're like, hey, are there any teams not coming back? Rumor is possibly Vegas may not be coming back, which was LAFC 2 kind of. And, obviously the MLS 2 teams, with the exception of Loudoun United, which is DC United's, are all leaving the league. So lower league soccer, lots of changes. So
yeah. So next season, we're going to be covering a lot more A lot more soccer, guys. I mean, we're going to be covering the MLS Next Pro, the USL. We honestly might have to split it into two different episodes. You know what I mean? We might have
Yeah,
to
the
do
lower league,
the USL and we'll I've reached out to a few locomotives and a few RGVs, so I'm sure they'll come. They'll come. We're just growing this thing, man. You know, it's our first episode on video, so making small improvements for Text Ring of Fire. I mean,
just need to get somebody from Houston. So
yeah, we'll get somebody from Houston, somebody that can handle the banter, like I like to say, somebody that can handle it. I mean, somebody who can dish it out too. You know, like I guess once you start getting personal and all that kind of deal, it's like whoa, like like let's just stay with the soccer conversation. But yeah, man.
well, I got to get going, my friend.
Yeah,
I gotta
that's
be
all
up
I got
early.
for Text Ring of Fire this episode 29. That's how we're gonna keep it going. Just U.S. men's national team through round of 16. I'm excited. I'm stoked. You guys give us a follow on Instagram. Give us a follow on Twitter. Come banter with Harry at Ram and Call. Come banter with me, RB22. I'm at the _ RB22. And then Sunshine, he's at Football Sunshine, or what is it?
Football,
Sunshine?
yep, at Football Sunshine.
Yeah, so, come banter with us.
So
Harry
last
loves to
prediction:
banter. What's
U.S. and Netherlands. What's your score prediction?
U.S. and Netherlands. Another 2-1. Oh, no, 3-2. 3-2. I think it's going to be 3-2 for us. We got to win, man.
Sunshine?
1-0.
I
Tough
got
game.
0-0, and then in PKs, 4-3 United States.
Damn.
Right.
See, yeah, this game's going to be open. So, all right, boys. Well, I'm your host, RB22.
Hey, this is Sunshine. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
See you guys.
Later, boys.
Peace.
Stay better than my friends.
Dude, you got to end better than that.